Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I hope that you're having a great day. I should say that the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always try to do better. Like I said, Big Giant, thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also, thank you to my wonderful moderators for all that you do in holding down the comment section, for I could not and would not do this without you. Today, we're going to be talking about a white man getting a wake up call from a Black woman for telling her, I should just take it. I'm going to show y'all a video. And he was like, oh, word. Then I'm also going to tell you all about another case that's kind of been trending a little bit. And we're going to have a conversation, in general about all that's going on. So let's wait until a few more people come on before we get started. Hopefully y'all got a chance to check me out on the African Diaspora News Channel today at 11 a.m. Central Time. Next month, I'll be doing it 4 days a week instead of the 2. Right now, I'm doing it Tuesday and Wednesday, but I did it today on Thursday because I had jury duty on Tuesday. So, I kind of made up for that. But anyway, one who cares, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. African Native, what is up with you? Kevin, hello. Doug, what is up? Kevin says, hi, Demetra. Did you hear about the story of the Black woman who was found? You're taking my lead here. Yes, that's actually one of the other stories that we're going to talk about. So I'm trying to kind of tie everything together. But yes, I did hear about that. So we're going to be talking about it. D-Mac, how are you doing today? Hope that you are well. Brother Thunder in the building. What is going on with you? Sunlight, how are you? RPMJ, what is up? Everything is good. Cannot complain. Today is our Friday. Right? Even though it's Thursday, it's our Friday because we're actually off on Friday because, I need a little rest. And then I'll be back here Sunday with Donovan. So, yes. Mike Nice, how are you? Mr. Ernest, what is going on with you? Mahaya, love and light to you as well. Brother Arniba, hope that you are well. And Easy E in the building. Simo, how you doing? You says she was on her business. Yes, I want to show y'all the video. Greater Achievements, how you doing? You ain't lying. So yeah, we're gonna have a larger conversation about that. Troy, how you doing? And Mara, what's going on with you? It says Little Rock, Arkansas, situational awareness. Got to. Dear self, how you doing? Who else is on here? Arlene, how you doing? Rain, working hard, I see. Nice to see you here. Hero, what's going on with you? And Abu, hope that you're having a great evening. And Renee and Mo Hammond Media, how you doing? It says, can we get married? Sure, why not? I don't see the problem. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started for the sake of time. So like many of you, I have seen a video trending of a Black woman who was walking, which is normal, right? It's broad daylight from what we can see. She's walking and this happens.
I'm not.
What if I jumped out and took it from her?
You would die.
If I jumped out and took it from her? Oh, you got one of them?
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
Nah.
I was just kidding. I was just talking.
Okay, so if y'all did not catch that, let me remove that. So basically, she was walking and, a white man rolled up on her. And guess I don't know if he was trying to pick up on her. She wasn't interested, but from the time that she started filming, he basically said, what if I just basically jumped out and just took it? They just take it from you. So, of course, she didn't show it, but from what his reaction was, she pulled out and y'all heard her tell him, well, you will, right? If you try that, and then he, of course, oh, you got one of them. You right, I got one of these. And then he's like, I'm just playing. I was just playing. I bet you were. But if I didn't have one of those, would you be playing, or would you try to snatch me up in your car? Right? So, of course, we know that's not rare. Okay? It's not rare. Of course, we could go all the way back to the plantation of them just taking it. And so bold in broad daylight, I should just take it, which you know, they say that black women and children, and there's black men as well, missing the most. So when you see stuff like that, it's like, okay, are we on to something? Because what kind of creep are you really in broad daylight to run up on a sister talking about what if I just take it from you? But again, that's not rare. That's something that I'm sure his ancestors, used to do, his grandpappy and all of them, just roll up on a black woman, because that wasn't rare back in the day. They see a black woman trotting along, right? And they wouldn't even say nothing to her, just snatch her into the woods and take it, and a whole host of stuff. I mean, I actually, before I came on here, I looked up all the cases. There's so many of them. There's so many of them that I cannot name, but basically a lot of that is rooted out of racial terror, because that's what they used to do, especially the black women and girls. It's just see one and we'll just take it, right? And a lot of times it would be a lot of them, trying to clean it up, doing that to black women, and nothing at all would happen to them. It was just as American as apple pie. You see a black woman walking or a black girl and you want to take it, you take it. So here we are in 2025. He just out in the open. Well, what if I just jump out and take it? So basically that meant that she wasn't trying to fool with him. But since you don't want to fool with me, I'm going to jump out and take it. So to that, yes, sisters, we got to have our head on swivel, but you should be able to take a walk outside without something like that happening. But I'm going to show y'all another story. Now, this particular story here, that was brought up. So it was an Ebony alert made, I think it was, let's see, the 29th. So the 29th and Ebony alert. That's something in California that basically looks for black people, because of course, you know that they don't look for black people when they are reported missing. They don't take it seriously. So they specially named it the Ebony alert just for that. Now, her name was Rania Lewis, 28 years old, as you can see there. She had been missing. Oh, my dad's doctor's calling me. She had been missing, and then unfortunately, they found her body in Vallejo, California. So that's up north. And this dude here, his name is Douglas Irwin Shaw. He was arrested for suspicion of doing that to her. Now, they found her body dismembered in a house that was kind of dilapidated and boarded up and broken down. And apparently he lived in the back house. Now they arrested him at what I know is to be Magic Mountain, Six Flags there in California. They say he also has two daughters, 41 years old. So of course he's suspected of doing it, and he does not have a bail or anything like that. And no, they were not in a relationship at all. But I just, like I said, sisters, we got to keep our head on swivel. We got to keep our head on swivel, because the crazy part about it is a lot of times they do like stuff like that to us and they get away with it. Or, I even hate that I have to say that they weren't in a relationship, because I guess that's kind of the speculation that was going on. Because, of course, a lot of times when black women are snatched up by one of them, oh, they must have been dating and this, that, and the other. But her family is like, no, they weren't dating. She doesn't even sound like she knew the dude. And then they had to further, I guess, explain it, because I guess per what his house looked like and all that other stuff, they was like, she'd have never gone in there. She either was taken by force or she was drugged or something happened, because she would have never willingly went into his home or anything like that. So in the first scenario, I'm glad that the sister had that equalizer, because that man looked crazy and creepy as all outdoors. And for him to say something like that is very alarming, which is also another case as to why, and I say this all the time, please do not leave your children unsupervised. Hold on a second. Deanna, can you get my phone and I'll call your granddad back? Or this doctor is the last call that called me. I'm sorry. I'd be having to take those calls, but I can't do it right now. Do not leave your children unsupervised, right? Because that very easily could be, and let me take this down, but I just want to show y'all that was the dude who is suspected of doing that to her. So RIP to her. She didn't deserve that at all. Again, they found her body not intact, unfortunately. But as I was saying, I hate to see little children by themselves, walking down the street unsupervised or any of that other stuff. That's one thing about me. I never let my daughter walk to school by herself, and her school wasn't that far. Now that there was a middle school directly on the corner. Okay, fine, it's a house away, right? But the elementary school was a couple blocks over. But I would never let her walk by herself because you just never know, right? And we know that there are people out there like that looking for their opportunities. Unfortunately, a woman by herself or kids, there are opportunities to people like that. So again, as I said, it's also another case for us to look into some protection, because I hate to keep saying like this time or now this time is weird. I think there's always been creeps and stuff out there like that. But I think because of the time that we're in, where they feel very emboldened to kind of just do what they want, especially to Black people, that they feel like, hey, why not? Because again, they grandpappies and uncles and stuff like that used to do that stuff to Black women and Black girls, and just a slap on the wrist, if anything. So anyway, let me see what you guys got to say about that. But yeah, he learned that day. Where did I leave off? I saw a comment. Angela, how you doing? Hope you're doing well and easy. MC Fact, how you doing? Says she got peace. Yeah, she had that thing on her, right? She was like, I bet you won't. He said, oh, you got one of them. How I was just playing. But if I didn't have it, would you be playing? Was you gonna get out and try to snatch me up? Like, what would you do? Like, what? Well, like, why would you even say something like that to me? Easy says, ladies, don't show anyone what you have until you have to show them what you have. Right? Don't show them until you have to show them. Like that sister had to show them. You know, no means no. And you ain't going to be taking nothing. The only thing you're going to be taking yourself is to the morgue. If you get out the car, you know, jump frog, get whatever it is you need to do. Yeah, you're going to be getting taken to the morgue. That's the only thing you taking. And then RPMJ, he says, did she? Yeah, she pulled out the hammer on him. Y'all saw his reaction? Oh, I was just playing. Brother Damon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thunder said, oh, he tripping. Yeah, I should just jump out and take it. What if I just... So I guess she's supposed to say, well, since you put it like that, I guess I'll just go with you. Now, I've taken a lot of self-defense classes, and trust me, I know how to, if I need to. And they always tell you, this is for men and women. If somebody's like, get in this car, or I'm going to do something to you, you rather be right on the spot. Because there's a large chance they actually won't you right there outside the car. But if you get in the car, it's almost 100% chance that you'll never be seen again. So, hey, if you got to take a bullet to the behind running, so be it. But don't ever get in the car with them. Be like, do what you got to do, homie. But I'm not going with you. Don't ever do it. DMAC Creep Squad. Ain't no telling who else he was working with, right? Yeah, Brother Damon, 2A in effect. Greater Achievement says, hope she had a button on that thing too. Ain't about to play with these folks no more. Well, I'm assuming if that sister had it, she knew how to use it, okay? Because however she was holding it, I don't know how she was holding it. She made a believer out of him. And Sister Shirley, if I didn't already, hello, he says, I'm so happy she was able to protect herself. Yeah, because it's just so it's so disgusting. Because first of all, I didn't want to be having this conversation with you. And now you're talking about, what if I just take it? Now, hopefully, you know, she turned him in or whatever the case is. Hey, this dude is rolling around. Here's his license plate or whatever the case is, talking about what if I take it? Because who's to say he hasn't done that before? Or he won't do it again. And are his targets Black women or just women in general? Like, what's going on here? But again, y'all got to study history. That was the kind of stuff they did. It was because they don't see, even today, they don't see Black people as human, right? They don't see us as human. So it's like, well, you know, I'll just take it. And then he'll probably go home to his wife and his daughter, like this other dude off in Vallejo. Wow, what he did to that sister. He had 2 daughters. They go home, you know, to they wives and stuff, act like nothing ever happened after you just took something from a sister who wasn't trying to give it to you. M, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Mr. South Carolina, how you doing? Says, good evening, people. Do she live in a stand your ground state? I don't know, but we'll sort out the details after I rearrange your understanding. You know what I mean? Because if she didn't live in a stand your ground state, that didn't matter to him, right? But I don't think you're supposed to be rolling up on people talking about what if I take it from you. Well, I'm not gonna give you a chance to find out because and let your mama come collect your remains. I'm just saying. Sherry, how you doing? Says, did you hear about the little black boy that got kidnapped the other day by a white man in Louisiana? Luckily, they found that baby. I believe they have been kidnapping us for years. Yes, they've been doing that, right? How is it that we just coming up missing and never to be seen of again? But yes, I did see that. Matter of fact, I saw it on my TV or somewhere last night. I was laying down and a story came up, and I remember somebody on here telling me about it yesterday. I was so happy. They said they found them safe. I don't know why that man took him or whatever the case is, but my God, like I said, watch your babies. Why? Just you have to. You can't even turn your head for a moment. I think in the case, Adam. I can't think of his last name right now. It slips my mind, but y'all know his daddy had to show America's Most Wanted. God, I can't think of the dad's name. But the little boy's name was Adam. I think his mom was at a Kmart or a Sears or something like that, and she turned her back, and he was gone, and they never saw him again. And then, they found his remains, and he was. She just turned her back. That's why they have that code Adam. So if you're ever in a store or something and they say code Adam, that means for all the employees to lock the doors and do not let anybody out, especially if they have a child. They must verify that that is their child, because they said that, when Adam was taken, if they had a code like that, because the mom, she realized, pretty quickly that he was missing. But if they had a code like that, they might have saved his life and caught the guy. The guy would have got discouraged. So that's why they have that code Adam. If you're ever in a store and you hear that, that's what that means. A child is missing, and we need to keep the doors locked until we find them. So yeah. Pop, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Dougie says, where was that at? I heard about the Houston Bayou area. Oh my Lord. I don't know where that sister was that was walking. Yeah, but the Bayou area out here, they're still not wanting to say that there's a serial on the loose, but it is. And most people are saying that, right? But the mayor's like, stop talking like that. There's no, this, that, and the other on the loose. And people are like, yeah, it is. Because there's 22 bodies that came up missing out there. So, yeah. D-Mac says, should and could and can doesn't apply to every man. There you go. Easy says, look at this drug-addicted male monstrosity. Whoa. Thundy say, just horrible. Yep. It is, nobody deserves to be found in a basement anywhere or attic or wherever she was in the house. I guess they said she was kind of like in a wall somewhere, in a house that was in front of him. So yeah, it's a lot to deal with. James, how you doing? Yep, I co-signed that. Damon says, take that call. Oh yeah, I had my daughter take care of it. Easy says, I do got serial vibes. Yeah, ain't no telling who else is missing, right? I mean, the guy, especially in Vallejo, there's probably a whole lot of other people missing. And again, he got 2 whole daughters, and he run around snatching up people and, dismembering them. And then just storing them in a wall like, okay, next. So they said they don't know what the motive is or, any of that kind of stuff yet. Yeah, Brother Damon, behind the wall. Kevin, you say he confessed to the crime. He has been cooperating with the authorities. So did he say what a motive is? Because the last time I checked, they didn't have a motive. And a lot of times those people don't need a motive. They just, Pop says power tools. Yeah. D-Mac says, man, y'all better stay ready out there. No hiking, fishing, camping, jogging in woods, nighttime. And you know what? For the life of me, I don't understand why people put themselves in harm's way. I don't. I'm from California, and I used to hike this mountain all the time, almost every day, sometimes twice a day, to be honest with you. And every so often, you would hear of a woman, getting something taken from her, rather, or almost having something taken from her. And then you continue reading the article, and you're wondering, okay, well, what time was she there? 4:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. Ain't nobody else out there. in the hiking through the mountain, and you why? So then you wonder, like, okay, you kind of made yourself a target, you know. So there's certain things you shouldn't be doing. Wait till the sunlight comes up, and there's other people out there, right? Let's see. You also say, take no offers from the others. They not like us. You ain't lying. Abu says, as long as we can exercise that amendment, it's a different climate, yet our own women should be accompanied by someone, a male family member, another lady, if you can bear arms. Yeah. Should not be outside by yourself, you know, even in the daytime. I get it. You have to be out there in the daytime moving about, but move about where there are people. But at night, it should be an absolute no that you're moving about by yourself at night, right? Going in and out of parking lots because you're going to the store, you know, you're loading bags in the car at night, and you're not able to pay attention because there's somebody probably watching you, but you ain't watching them because you're not trying to break the egg, smash the bread, none of that stuff. And then you come up missing because you shouldn't have been out there by yourself. Now, I'm not saying because you're out there by yourself, that's what you get. So don't mistake me in that. But you have to use wisdom. Use wisdom. Buckhurst, how you doing? Hope that you are well. Mike says, these are some crazy times. Thursday, you ain't lying. RP says, a lesson learned that will never be forgotten. Yep. Damon says, they still are folks. Absolutely. Ain't nothing changed. And now it seems like it's becoming more and more that they're saying, oh, no, they did that to themselves. Out of all the ways to go, why would you do that to yourself? I don't know. I've never done it, but I'd imagine it's a painful way to go. I don't know, you know, but every last one of them, like none of it is foul play. Pop says, can I see the video? If you go all the way back to the beginning, and then come back, you can see it because I already took it down from here. Sorry about that. Yes, DMAC, they love soft targets. Hero says, she saved his life to do it to someone else. The issue should be pushed. I totally agree with you because who's to say? You know, a lot of times when people are like that, they have an insatiable appetite for things like that, and so they'll keep going until they find something that satiates them. I'm trying to really, you know, keep it clean, but that's how they are. Because again, broad daylight, she's walking, doing normal everyday things, and he pushed it up on her. Well, what if I just take it from you? This ain't the 1825, 1925. Where y'all could just do that and nobody cares. Oh, well, you know, I don't see what the big deal is, gal. He was just playing with you. Oh, he didn't harm you, did he? Just, you know, it seemed like you had a good time. You know, that's kind of how they rationalize that kind of stuff. You should be happy that he won't even do that to you. But yeah, you know, they find out a black man even thinking about doing something like that to theirs. It's, you know, get them things. Because last time I talked about that, they got on me here. Lisa, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Common Man, how are you? Renee says, we all have to get some power tools. Now is the time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hero says, I know, right? What state this happened in? Yeah, I don't know what state that was, but whatever it is, he's in a whole different state of mind after that. Sister Tracy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Kevin says he could have turned that around and called the police and said she pulled a gun on him. Never pull the weapon unless you're going to use it. But thank God she was recording. So we saw exactly and what came out of his mouth. What if I just take it from you? What you talking about? Taking what? You know? So yeah, she had the video. Easy says, D, was that in Texas? Regardless, these folks are bold, but in order to curtail people like this, Pew Pew's gonna have to get busy making examples. Yeah, I'm sure she would have used it if she needed to. If he didn't keep on pushing, I'm sure she would have pushed something in him. And I think he understood that. Oh, I was just playing. You play with people like that every day, sir. People you don't know. It's crazy. D-Max has absolutely been kidnapping our children, sisters, and young men. Yeah, that's why I said you gotta also. I remember, like I said, and I said this before. You know, I was 19 when I moved out. When I got my first place, my mom said, "Now this was they had cell phones, but they weren't really hot and popping like that. You know, pagers or whatever. But I didn't have one. My mom says, I know you grown. She says, but always make sure somebody know where you at. Because if something happened to you, we need to be able to say, hey, she said she was going here. That's where she was at last. And I never forgot that. So make sure you tell people where you are. It ain't nothing about people being in your business. You don't be needing to know where I am. And I ain't trying to be in your business, but you come on missing, we're going to need to know how to find you. You know, and nowadays there's so much technology where you can give somebody your location. Like I have locations on, you know, my sister, my daughter, my niece, and they have my location as well. Not that my location always be the house, right? But you should have people give people your location, especially if you have children, have locations on their phones or even little tags. They could do that now. So yeah, there's ways to not be in that situation. Tanya, how you doing? Says, oh my God, girl, why am I just not seeing MAGA try to go back in that black church? Did you see that? What black church? What black church you talking about? I haven't seen that at all. Yes, Adam Walsh. Thank you. Hey, Black America, how you doing? Oh, I'm so behind. Let me catch up. Macman, how you doing? Says heathens kidnapped at an insane rate during Halloween. Yeah, because you let your children go on out there and you know go get the candy and come back. And then sometimes they don't come back. So go with your kids because it'll be all kind of freaks and creeps dressed up. You know, Michael Myers be out there for real. Hey, Eddie, how you doing? Yeah, thank y'all. Walsh. I don't know. It skipped my mind, but yes, Adam Walsh. I was a little boy. Hero says we still need closure for the twins. Yes, unaliving, if you will, in the hills, Stone Mountain. They got off of a plane and somehow ended up in Stone Mountain, Georgia, where they found both of them like that. And they said that there was no foul play. Huh? Eddie says they never found his, Adam's head. Yeah, and the guy who admitted to doing it, they don't know whether he really did it or not. But it's just a horrible situation. Horrible. African Native says, beware black folks. The victim is the one that can recall his murderer best. You ain't lying. EW, how you doing? Thank you so much for reminding me of that. Let's see who else. Veronica, how you doing? Yep, horrible. Common Man says in a wall is the latest. So that's where they found her. That's the latest in a wall. But do we know why he did that to that sister in Vallejo? Because they said there was no motive. So let me skip down just a tiny bit. Mad Dog, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So the problem is he won't suffer any consequences. He'll suffer some if he keep running up on the right sister. He will. Monique, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Tanya, what is up with you? Said that's scary, very scary. Common Man says she was dismembered and found in a wall. Why would you do that to somebody? And mind you, he has 2 daughters. And that's not rare. A lot of those people that be doing stuff like that, they seem to be regular people, right? Be having wives and kids and be pastors and, you know, all kind of, you know, prestigious things in the community. And then they find out that they the BTK, you know, a serial or, you know, Ted Bundy or some people like that, right? So, yeah, you just never know. I mean, honestly, not to freak anybody out, but we could be living next door to one and never know. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. And, you know, he did something crazy. QT, how you doing? Says at this point, we need to always carry our Second Amendment enforcers. I wouldn't leave mine at home, even if I wasn't allowed. He drove up on her, threatened to take it. Her gun deterred him. Yep, sure did. He took off like, okay, party's over. Renee says there was a woman kidnapped and escaped by running to the next house next door. He says the white supremacist that kidnapped her was about his life as usual. So he basically saying he was kind of normal. D-Max says, don't forget to like, thank you so much, and subscribe and all that. Love and appreciate you for the reminder. QT says, sadly, when you work 11 to 7 a.m. like I do, being out at night can't be helped, but you don't have to be helpless. Nah, you walk outside like, you know, or whatever. But I understand. But I'm sure you're on high alert, right? You're not, scrolling on your phone and walking and not paying attention. That bugs me when I see people doing that. It's like you don't even know what's going on around you. You're just scrolling. And I see children a lot. When I walk into school, the bus stop, whatever, they're just oblivious to everything that's going on, and they're just walking and scrolling and looking at their phone. I teach your kids to keep their head up, and then when they get on the bus, whatever, then you can scroll on your phone, but you need to be watching because anybody could just, and you never know. Fair use, how you doing? Hope that you are well. Who else? Emily says, I imagine that them same creeps' daughters are the first ones that take it. Weirdos. Oof. Huru says he was straight to the point because he was serious. Heck yeah, he was serious, but that sister was serious too, wasn't she? Hey, 48 TCO, how you doing? Long time no see. Says, hey family, but I'm never leaving home without my peace like I'm Mahatma. Yes, indeed. Simo, he says, be vigilant, my sisters, and keep a peacemaker handy. Keep something, right? If you don't have the pews, have something. Some spray, something. Taser, something. Because, I don't know. It's scary. Tracy said, did you see where the pale ones tried to bogart their way into a black church and they weren't having it? So you talking about the one, was in Philadelphia? Is that the one? So that's the one that y'all saying they finally got in that church? Because I do know that story. But did they finally get in there? And Easy says, D, if you ask me, she should have taken his license plates. He may be linked to Bayou Bodies. You never know. So was it in Texas? Because I don't know if it was in Texas or not. Hopefully she did get his license plate. I think that she probably would have, but she needs to make a report. Sherry say, I think it was Indianapolis, my state. Someone had it posted. Okay. Let's see. D, how you doing? Said he might just be the Houston serial unaliver. Yeah, because right now they're saying there's not one. You don't stop saying that. It's like, well, what is it? 22 bodies this year in the bayou? Now I understand the bayou is kind of long or whatever. So I'm not sure if they're finding it in the same spot, but nevertheless, it's the same bayou, right? So 22 bodies, to keep saying that it's not connected, it's just kind of weird to me. It's like, what are we doing? Unless that particular person who's doing it is in a police department or something, and that wouldn't be unheard of, right? We've seen plenty of cases where the person who was doing it is also the person who's looking for the person who's doing it. So, yeah. You know what, Pop? Oh, African Native says, when the devil gets caught, he always pretends he was just playing. Exactly. Buckhorse says, I was 14 when I left home. That's pretty young. And Common Man says they call out the National Guards. If a black man even says hello to one of them snow bunnies, we just have to do what we have to stay alive and hope for the best. Savitry, you're absolutely right. Had that been, one of they women found cut up in a wall, oh my God. Whew. And listen, I'm not saying black men don't do that kind of stuff to their women. They do, but we know that with that kind of stuff, yeah, they run in circles around everybody. It's a fact. So yeah, one who cares says, exactly. I always tell someone where I'm at. You got to. Renee says, yepers, that's what that's what they told us. Yeah. Tell somebody where you at. Don't be that girl. I'm at where I'm at. All right. You're going to be in somebody's box somewhere. Mike says, oh, you were playing, huh? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Exactly. And now you're all over the internet. Tanya says, yeah, my mother used to say to always know the exes in an establishment and always have a way back home money. Man, see, that's what the wiser women used to tell us, right? Don't leave out of here with no money. At least when I was coming up, it was like a quarter. It might have even been a dime, but I remember it being a quarter. At least take that, right? A couple bucks if you had to call a cab, quarter in the pay phone, because we had pay phones, right? Mama, daddy, I need you to come get me, or whatever it is, right? Don't ever leave without a way to save yourself, because you just never know. Hey, Diane, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Okay, so Tanya says, in Philadelphia, Mother Bethel Church about 1 week ago, video on YouTube was crazy. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Easy says, D, you notice how HPD and council members come out immediately to squash? Yep, the S. Yes. He says they are not giving out the race of all them bodies. Only one identified as a black. This is very suspicious. Yeah, they identified the black woman. She was 22 years old. Guess she was reported missing, and then they found her in the bayou, and they said it was no foul play. And it's like, well, how did she get there? You know, I don't know anything about the nature of a bayou, if it's flowing, if it's rough water or whatever it is, but I agree with you. Who are these people that they're finding? And why are they dismissing it as, well, these people just kind of happen into the bayou and no foul play is involved? Because my thing is that normal to find 22 bodies in the water? And is that normal to that bayou? Because if it's kind of like a normal thing, like the San Francisco Golden State Bridge, right? I don't know what it is now, but back in the day, they said it was kind of normal for people to just to end it all, right? Matter of fact, when I was in cosmetology school, I went to school with a guy named Mike. He was in a class, and one day he didn't show up, and they said that he took his life by jumping off of the bridge. So they said, that was kind of a normal thing, unfortunately, for the Golden State Bridge. But I don't know, is that a normal thing for the bayou here in Houston? And let's see. Who else is on here that I did not see? Brother Don, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. Daryl, what's going on with you? Says, no doubt his grandfather or etc. Performed certain forced acts against black women back in the day. He's so comfortable in his actions. Yeah, it was, and this is not something I'm making up. It's just the truth. You could look it up and see that it was a form of racial terror, especially to black women. I want it and I'm going to take it. And then nothing you can do about it. Matter of fact, not only am I going to take it, all of the homies going to take it too. And we going to take it as much as we want to take it until we get tired of taking it. And yeah, you can run and tell the po-po, but guess what? One of us is probably related to the po-po and they ain't going to do nothing. Like I said, they're going to be like, I don't see the problem. You're okay. All of that, right? Tracy says the sad part, even with my teen, keeps telling her about that scrolling and walking, but I don't know nothing. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a generation you can't say nothing to. Hero, he says, I'm usually funny, but this topic is serious. Yeah, it's very serious. And tell all your loved ones, and men too, because men get taken. There's a lot of men that's missing. There's a lot of black men missing, that they just deduce it to, well, maybe he'll come back. Maybe he just took off. Maybe he doesn't want to be found, type of thing, And as I say this, and I'm not trying to freak nobody out, but people who, and especially in Houston, they said it's like the human trafficking, one of them hubs per se. The people that's taking these people, they taking them for somebody who is saying, get me one of those, 2 of them, 4 of them. Yeah, give me a couple of dudes because I know somebody who want, they want some men. They want some young, teenage boys. See, because we always tell our daughters and girls, oh, be careful, but we don't tell our sons and, grown men that. Grown men get trafficked all the time, and that, they're not, and I'm not saying you have to be this, so don't mistake me in this, but they're not LGBTQ. These are straight men who may think they meeting something at the bar at a party, and they wake up and, so yeah, everybody has to be careful. All right, let me skip down. Yeah, Common Man, it's clearly a dumping ground, but it's like, why y'all not watching the bayou? Ain't no cameras over there or something. Mad Dog says, that's why we need to stop forgiving everybody. Totally. Pop says, white female student was found in her apartment on the campus of Eastern Michigan University 10 years ago, and they're still looking for the people. Oof. And hopefully that they're found, right? Zip, zip, zoom, zoom. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. Tracy says, are you talking about the 22-year-old that left the club to go to the store next door to a store but ended up in the bayou? Yes, her. So what happened? You know what I mean? What happened? Was she drunk? I don't know. I haven't heard any more details about it. Pop says, does the bayou have alligators? I don't know. Probably. But don't quote me. I don't know, because I don't be over there by the bayou like that. let's see who else. Sherry says, remember what happened to one of them in the movie, fried green tomato. Okay, fried green tomatoes, the barbecue that they end up eating. Yeah, somebody, I ain't gonna tell y'all the movie, but yes, that was one of my mom's favorite movies, Fried Green Tomatoes. A very good movie, by the way. Yes, it was. Brenda, how you doing? Says, young women, please carry something on you. Keep it in your pocket and hand on it at all times when you are out and about. I know I almost got attacked in New York at the bus stop going to work. Yeah, I think most women and girls and teenage girls have a story about something funky happening and almost happening and all of that. I mean, I have stories. I remember one time I was 16 and I needed to go buy something, just shopping, nothing major, because I had a little job. So my brother, Walter, my oldest brother, he had a car, I didn't. So I said, hey, can you take me to the store? It was a Sunday evening. So he took me to the store, but our friend lived right around the corner. You know, Walter's like, I'm not trying to be up in here shopping with you, right? So he's like, I'll be back. All right, cool. Now, mind you, it's Sunday, so the store closed early. And of course, you know, it was kind of dark. So I'm sitting across the way from the store on like a, you know how like light posts, they have like a round thing, like a base, and it was big enough for me to sit on. So I'm sitting on there just kind of waiting. And there was no phones back then, so I wasn't distracted, but I was just kind of looking and waiting type of thing. Then I noticed that this white man had pulled up next to me, but not like in front of me, but next to me. So I'm not really thinking much of it. And then I kind of looked because something caught my attention. And yeah, he's doing something to himself. So I grabbed my bags, right? And I'm booking through the parking lot. And he's chasing me, you know, in his car. So there was a grocery store, big grocery store at the end of the parking lot. So I made it there. And I'm hysterical. I'm in the store. And so I see him kind of circling. I guess maybe he's waiting for me to come out. And so then I saw Walter pull in, right? The sucker was going a little too long. So I saw him pull in the parking lot. So he didn't see me because he's going to the store thinking I'm still down there. So I run out of the store now. He keeps going like he didn't hear me. I was like, oh my God, it's like a horror movie, right? So finally he sees me and he stops. So I get in the car and I'm hysterical. I'm crying. I'm telling what happened. He says, where is he at? Where is he at? I'm like, no, let's just go. But I wasn't doing anything. I was minding my business, and that man came up and was doing the most. But thank God, you know, I saw that, and I had the wherewithal to get out of there because, you know, Demetra K might, I don't know. Anyway, let's see. LB Chill, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Queen of Dia, how you doing? Said, this is terrible. There is no forgiving unless the party asks for forgiveness. Yeah, but again, as Farrakhan said, they don't even be asking it. We just be giving it. Oh, forgives you. Tracy, Albert Chill says, been late both times, catching you today, shaking my head. Well, you know, be on time on Sunday. Tracy says, they showed her walking. She didn't appear to be drunk. So what happened to this sister? You know, again, I cannot stress, and you guys cannot stress enough, stop being out by yourself at night. Stop that. We gotta unlearn. Oh, I'm good. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. They better and I'm a because as fast as our mouth is, sometimes you ain't gonna be able to out talk some sadistic fool. If he got it in for you, ain't nothing you gonna be able to say. In fact, it might turn him on and make him mad. So stop being, and I'm not saying this about that sister, RIP to her, but stop putting ourselves in situations to where we become the opportunity. Because that's when all that wisdom comes back to you, right? I would imagine when you're in that situation to hear your mama, your auntie, your grandma, your daddy, your uncles, girl, you better not, you stop being out late at night and all. That's when all that stuff comes to you, when it's too late, unfortunately. So we have to use wisdom. I skipped down just a little bit, y'all. Y'all can see I'm starting to sweat. Why? I don't know. Kenneth, how you doing? Says, I'm sorry. Is this live? Yes, I'm live. You see, I'm sweating. I'm hot. We are live. I can't wait till it cools down. It's pretty hot here in Houston still. Pop says, how can one be turned on and be mad at the same time? I think I can say this on here. Sadomasochists. That's kind of where that kind of stuff turns them on. Like they're really just evil people and they feed off of the worst and that kind of stuff is almost in certain cases like that. They have to kind of be mad or like, to really drive them to do that. And that's kind of what gets them, I'm trying to keep it clean, but gets them going per se. So yeah, it's a whole thing. So I read that. And D-Max says, that a Black person in America, you must always stay on high alert. You got to, because we are an opportunity, not in a good way, right? King Shaw, how you doing? Says traveling crowds, especially females. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I get tired of hearing when she was by herself. She said she was going to the store. She was this. Stop being out there by yourself. I have a niece. Yeah, no, we have to really put a foot in her behind, because she's off in school and just oblivious to the time and stuff. And, kind of freaked us all out this past weekend. She got lost track of time and, she's traveling at night. So, I was like, you can never do that again. And her mom was like, well, in a sense, we don't want to scare her. I said, yes, you do. And I said, when I talk to her, I will. I said, so she need to hear, the real, okay? We can't candy coat stuff for people like that at all. We need to tell them the truth. And my daughter tell you, if I bring her in here right now and I ask her to tell y'all what I would tell her as to what may happen to her if she runs off and don't pay attention while we're out and about and all that, she'll tell you exactly what I said. And it wasn't, oh, they're going to take you. And I told her the real. Because, see, I wasn't about to be grieving for my daughter. Not like that. You know what I mean? So we just have to really pay attention and all that. Brenda says, Miss K, please check out the 11-year-old that got beaten by this girl gang walking her dog. They even beat the dog. Little girl is still in the hospital. She's having seizures now. They caught one. So I don't know anything about that story at all. That's crazy. But now that you mentioned, I'll probably see it. Sonia, how you doing? Says, I have to go back and watch the replay. I missed the initial portion of the live. Okay, well, come on back. And I know I'm so behind. Mad Dog says, Demetra, some of our women just don't want to listen. Hey, I know. Trust me. I know, and I don't get it. I know we think we she man or she woman. And listen, I can defend myself pretty good. I'd be honest with you, but I don't want to be in that situation where I'm tussling with some fool. And then be thinking, damn, I shouldn't probably be out here. Like, I like to go to the gym early in the morning. But normally I wait till sunlight and things like that, But if it's not like 5:30 in the morning, if, it's not really light or 6, I'll park as close to as I can. And then I run right up into the gym. Right. So I don't be wandering around type thing, but I rarely do that. So I should just say that. Diane said, Demetra, this happens during the day as well. I almost got kidnapped by a group of Hispanics in a white van, and this was during the day. Yeah, it happens during the day, which is why we really have to, just be on alert. Just have to watch ourselves. Yeah, Tracy. So yeah, I say this is what they are. They get off on that kind of stuff. King Shaw says all Black women need to get a pew or a permit to carry one. Yep. Scoop, how you doing? Says they sure don't waste a lot of time and energy looking for us. Steadily rather dismissing foul play is always foul play. History proves it, which is why California has the Ebony Alert for Black people, because they don't take it seriously when we're missing. Oh, well, they'll come back and this, that, and the other. But man, when a little white woman, a white girl come up missing, everybody hear about it. Everybody. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. You should hear about it, but you should hear about when everybody comes up missing. Stop dismissing it as, oh, well, did they run away and all that? And I'm going to say this to y'all out there who may be running away. Stop doing that, because that's unfortunately why they dismiss a lot of people who aren't running away, because you do have people who run away and then, their parents or whoever it is put out this missing person thing, but they just a runaway. And so a lot of times they don't take it seriously, but everybody should be taken seriously. And they should look for runaways too, because perhaps they didn't run away, or they did and they got in some trouble, right? So yeah. Kenneth says, thanks, FB friend. Love your show. Oh, Facebook friend. I love you for being here. Thank you. Al says the movie Basic Instinct was about fatal mechanics. Basic Instincts. Which movie is that? Because they all kind of meld together in my mind. And how you doing, by the way? Brother Todd, how you doing? Says good. or bad. Nothing happens without the permission of God. I agree with that. It says whether we like it or not, if you are not paying attention to your surroundings, someone somewhere is, and when you meet them, they will win. I agree with you. And it should also be said that my pastor back in the day, he says, don't force God to give you a miracle, because that's not how it works, right? You put yourself in a bad situation and be like, oh God, because God's like, yeah, you should have used wisdom because I told you that too, right? So we have to know. King Shaw, I'll say talking easy. Sonia says we must educate our young people. Yes. Tracy says I didn't hear about that story either, but no surprise, it's so many. Yep. Common Man says my aunt and mother used to tell us how they used to put straight razors braided in their hair so they could cut a fool if someone messed with them in the 50s. Things never changed. There you go. Sure enough. Yeah, sisters back in the day had them a blade or two, didn't they? They say, I cut you from a-hole to appetite. Renee says, yes, you do. I want to scare them. My elder scared the crap out of me. Why? I'm an elder and I'm still here today because I listen. Come on now. Yeah, I ain't know what we gonna candy coating this. Listen, this could happen to you. Here's a story in your area where something like this happened. Okay, we don't want you in a newspaper or be telling these stories 20, 30 years later about with somebody in our family, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I see. To me, there is no such thing as too far. If I'm trying to save your life, I'm trying to keep you on alert. There's no such thing as too far. Right? William, how you doing? He says, why, though a stalker who follows her unloved or loved? Well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by a stalker. I mean, if you got a stalker, I guess do all that you can, but then get that equalizer, right? Because I'm crazy enough. If somebody's stalking me, I'm gonna stalk you back. Okay, I'm gonna stalk you back to see how you like it. But yeah, to do all that you have to do if somebody's stalking you. Al says basic instinct was about sadomasochism. Okay, there you go. Sonia says I agree that many of us have stories. I thank God that I have always been watchful of my surroundings. You got to. William says why anything into interesting? I'm not sure what that means. Silky Danielle, how you doing? Says you have to watch out for these Africans too. You'll think it's one. It says a one-on-one date, I think, and they'll bring 2 to 3 men with them. See, yeah, that's why you got to be if you're going on a date with somebody. Oh yeah, sure, I'll meet you in the public square in broad daylight where there's a whole bunch of people. We ain't going nowhere isolated. No, you're not coming to my house. No, I'm not going to your house. No, we ain't going to walking by the bayou. Okay, we going to the public square where there's a lot of people. Hey, how you doing? And that's why the Nation of Islam, they take chaperones and stuff, but normally they kind of date each other per se. But yeah, take somebody with you. You don't know that fool, or you don't know that hussy. Take somebody, because dudes get set up all the time too. Take somebody with you. Oh, this is my girlfriend. She came with us to see, yeah, we checking you out, boo. And then bring your homeboy. Make sure y'all bring people together. Okay, don't bring your homeboys and then you just want her and vice versa. Yeah, hey, let's make it a multi thing. Y'all getting to know each other, but bet we coming along just to make sure everything go good. Because my homegirl will snatch her razor blade out of her braids or out of her afro. Because you don't owe anybody loyalty, especially if you don't know them. I don't know you. I don't owe you any loyalty. I don't owe you anything until, we made this official. I feel like you okay or whatever it is, but I don't owe you loyalty. And if you get mad because my homegirl, my homeboy came with me, then kick rocks, homie. Kick rocks. Just like that. Okay, well, I'm not sure what you own, but okay. African Native says the Black alphabet has only 2 letters, while them folks' alphabet keep growing, and plus is used for the constant expansion. Hey, I ain't in that, so I don't be up on affairs on what they doing, because none of that plus them other alphabets include me. I don't think. King Shaw says the razor is a New York thing. I remember in the 80s in New York. Yeah, that's definitely an East Coast thing. D-Mac says, get off the oh yeah, the TikTok. They already tripping, and on X I saw that they tripping. Easy said Pew's work on a good stalker. Yeah. Something, right? Yeah, African eye for an eye. See, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not afraid of things. I am, but if you stalking me, I'm stalking you back too, sucker. Why should you be having all the fun? You know, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna leave her alone. Yes, because I want to stalk too. And I think I'd be a good stalker. Albert Chill says, I remember my grandpa said he took someone hunting back in the day, early 1900s, for disrespecting my aunt, his sister. He was from Alabama. And I'm not sure what happened to homeboy. Whatever it is, I'm sure he never did whatever it was that he did again. You ain't got to say what happened to him, but that's how they did it back in the day. You know, and like I said, I'm just saying a lot of men, and I'm speaking from a woman's point of view, ain't really had the elderly men put a foot in their behind, and it shows. Because back then the men could correct these suckers for doing all kind of stuff, being disrespectful and a whole host of things, and they get their understanding rearranged, right? Y'all remember the weddings? Oh, you knock my baby up? Well, what's your intentions with my daughter? Well, nothing. For real? Do tell. I have a Wednesday and a Saturday available. And which of those days are y'all going to be getting married? Because you ain't finna just be having my baby out here unwed. You laid down with her, y'all procreated, and you're getting married. I don't care if you love my daughter or not. You'll learn to love her. Yes, sir. And sometimes they were married forever, right? So yeah. Kenneth says FBA men and women need each other. We got. We have no friends. Dr. Claude Anderson. We need each other. End of story. Absolutely. William, what is you talking about? Buckhorse says stalk. It's a thin line between love and hate. Yeah, I don't know if there's any love in there. Infatuation, most definitely. Edward, how you doing? Says, wait. He says, why is white men and black women in damn near every TV ad and movie made today? And if you see a black man, he's tap dancing in a doctor's office, or some black man with a red dress on, because that's what they think that we like, and they give us that, and we don't shun it. We complain, but we don't stop watching that or whatever it is. That the game, the rule book, or the game, the playbook, I guess, is to get a sassy black man, or a black man that's not with a black woman. And you see the other way around too. Black women with white men, or things like that. But the premise is for y'all not to be together. That's what they're saying. We don't want black people together, and then we'll have a sassy man tooting his booty up all over the place and stuff. Maybe I went too far with that. I don't know. But yeah, we just need to reject that and say, nah, that's not who we are. You guys aren't going to tell us what our family unit should look like. So yeah, King Shaw says, I don't eat at a female's house for the first time going to a female's house. Yeah, you shouldn't be going over there for a very long time anyway. Let's see. I just realized what time it is. Easy says, D, when you get a chance, you can check out the horrible statue. I saw that. Tina Turner in her hometown in Tennessee. Yeah, I was like, what is that? Because I know damn well that ain't Tina Turner. See, we need an Ike on the scene, right? To get some straightening going on. Let's see. Going to the bottom, Common Man says, the women in the Nation of Islam don't talk to strange men. It says when they're outside, they go where they have to go and go back home, and they are never out when it gets dark outside. Trust me, I know. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Silky Danielle. I love and appreciate you for that. Everything helps. Again, if y'all want to donate to the channel, please feel free to do so. But if not, please make sure you like and subscribe. But yes, Silky, thank you once again. Dano, how you doing? Living Green, what's up with you? Says exactly that's how it was. You made a baby and you getting married. Yeah, nowadays I don't know it. Man, back in the day, the men wasn't playing. I don't care. Black America, I knew you was going to show up for this comment. It says, shotgun weddings, you are so stuck in the past. I think we'd be better off if we have that, because I think if people knew that there was a shotgun wedding waiting for you, then you wouldn't be so fast to lay down and make a baby that you ain't trying to take care of. I think that was kind of what it was, more so a deterrent. Oh, you marrying my baby. Because if she was good enough for you to, get horizontal, then she's good enough for you to sign on the dotted line, homie. That's what that was about. You ain't finna just be having my baby around here soiled and all this other stuff and everybody looking down on her. And I know it wasn't just him. She did it too, but, that's how it was. You gonna marry my daughter? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she didn't want to get married. They was like, too bad. You get married. Because oftentimes they would send her away to the auntie house, for 9 months. And she come back, it's like, oh, I was just helping my aunt. But she didn't went and had a baby. 10 man, how you doing? Says Tyler Perry made $1 billion off of that BS. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Easy says D is pandemic sassy males. What the pandemic did that? Thank you so much, African Native Lover. Appreciate you for that. Thank you. William, whatever it is, please cut it in half, homie, because I don't know what it is you're talking about. Sonia says, I have to check out the Tina Turner Museum when I'm there this weekend. Yes, a statue. It look crazy. Sunlight says, damn, who's supposed to watch the gate? And what gate? Because, I'm behind. Let's see. Oh, I got to the bottom. Zip, zoom. He says, if there is a cop, someone impersonating a cop with a sinister intentions, he says they can impose their authority and easily invoke you to comply. I saw a video and I did one this week on African Diaspora News Channel where that kind of happened, although he was a real cop, but he was in a plain car and he was dirty and stuff. And the sister was like, I don't know who you are. So she blew through all the stop signs and stuff. And another cop was called on 911. And so he met him. And they were both white cops. She was a sister. And the one cop that was in the plain car, it was like a 2003 GM truck or something. He got into it with the other cop because the cop was like, I wouldn't stop for you either. You don't look like a cop. Because I call him the dirty cop. He was like, oh, I got her first. I'm taking her. He says, no, you're not. This is my town. He says, you're not even dressed like a cop. Look at your car. Because the sister was like, yeah, you catch me if you can. Black America says, men take care of their kids. We don't leave the kids. We leave the crazy woman. Well, was she crazy when you laid down with her? Then that's why the shotgun wedding was going to happen, okay? Just stop laying down with people you ain't trying to procreate with. That's for men and women. It's not just about men. It's for everybody. Stop doing that. Problem solved, right? So easy. You say, I saw that Barney Fife mofo. Yeah, he was looking crazy. So anyway, I'm going to go. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Thank y'all for hanging in here this week with me. I'll be back here on Sunday with Donovan. What we'll talk about, I don't know, but it's been a pleasure. I'm going to get some rest for the next 2 days because I so badly need it. But again, y'all come back on Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Time so we can have another great conversation. In the meantime, y'all stay tuned for Brother Phil, African Diaspora News Channel at 7 p.m. And please don't forget the African Diaspora News Channel app because there's a lot of y'all said, y'all see what they doing on TikTok. Y'all seeing what they doing on X. Who knows how soon before they do it on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Y'all go look all that up. But, we want to be able to disseminate the messages that we are disseminating on our own stuff the way we want and say whatever we want without having to say, oh, we're going to unalive or we're going to, or, just different words we can't say. We're grown, right? We should be able to say certain things. But on these platforms, there's a lot of things we can't say. But see, when we on our own platform, we could do that. So go to your Play Store on your phone, download the African Diaspora News Channel app. You will not regret it. Thank you and love you in advance. So I will see y'all. Hey, Molly Cakes, how you doing? It's my pleasure, Eddie. See y'all later. Peace.